All right, everybody, how's it going? It is Tuesday, December 29, 2020, and we have we're just finished with week 16, and now we're closer and closer and closer to, unfortunately, the end of the season. And that kind of means we have some playoff clinching scenarios to go over. That video did pretty well last week, so I assume we might as well make another one, go over week 17 playoff clinching scenarios. As you can see, really not much has changed. The Steelers did win the division title. They just had to beat one team, and they pulled off beating the Colts. They rose from the dead, sort of like the Undertaker, and just kind of rose up and it's out of nowhere. They just killed the Colts in the fourth quarter and won the game. So that's a little interesting to think with the Steelers going forward. Hold on, let me take a drink. One has to wonder. That was a huge drink, by the way. Yeah, so the Steelers, they kind of looked a lot better than they have the following weeks. Their offense came to life. Their defense came to life there late in the game. So interested to see how that plays out. They're, of course, I believe 12-3, but I'm pretty sure they're about to be resting their start. There's so much questions. Is this team resting their starters? Is this team going to rest their starters? Because with the Bills and the Steelers, since the 2 seed is kind of, it really only matters if the Chiefs lose if they have the 2 seed. So I have to wonder, are the Steelers and the Bills, because they've both clinched their division, they've both clinched their they're both 12-3. One has to wonder if they're going to fight it out for the second seed. Could Buffalo go, screw this, we're going to gun it, we're going to keep Miami out of the playoffs, because that's who the Bills play. And I think the Dolphins need a win to get in. So, yeah, so Buffalo's got a weird decision. They could try to keep Miami out, or they could rest their starters and kind of just whatever through that game. Kind of like how I think the Steelers are about to do. The Steelers haven't had a real bye week since week 3 or week 4 or whatever with the Titans situation. So I would imagine that Pittsburgh is going to use this as an opportunity to sort of rest their older players and let Cleveland just win. Who cares? They got everything they wanted. They won their division. They're good. So, and of course the Chiefs this last week, they won their division title. They won the first round bye, and Andy Reid's his history said they were going to rest starters, and I'm pretty sure they've already said they're resting starters. They're more than okay to do that in Kansas City. So we'll start. Obviously we're starting with the AFC. We'll start with the Ravens. It looks like I have this zoomed way in so you can see what's going on. The Ravens play the Cincinnati Bengals, who have been pretty good the last couple games, coming out of nowhere, winning some games. Playing for a little bit of pride, I guess you could say, to end their season. Probably playing the rest of the season for Joey B. We'll see how this game goes. I think the Ravens win quite comfortably. So for the Ravens, we'll keep it to one team at a time. The Ravens can clinch a playoff berth with one of the following situations. If they win, they're in. So they control their own destiny. They could be the 5 seed, I guess you could say, or hold on. The 5 seed or the 6 seed or the 7 seed. So because all 3 of those seeds are open. So there's that spot. If they win, they're in. If Cleveland was to lose, they're in. Indy loses, they're in. So it's one of those 3. It's oars for them. So I think it looks like at 10-6, Baltimore can get in if Cleveland or Indy were to lose. So Baltimore sits pretty good to get in the playoffs. They seem to be one of the teams that can get in, even if they lose. As long as Cleveland or Indy were to lose, they can get in. But again, with Cleveland probably playing the backup Steelers and Indy playing the Jaguars, good luck. Let's go ahead and take a quick look here at, and obviously a bunch of ties with the Miami loss, Baltimore with Tennessee loss, Cleveland tie. The ties are I'm not going to go over the tie scenarios because I think those are the least likely. The Browns play the Steelers. Obviously, it's going to be in Pittsburgh. The problem with that game, I'm pretty sure the Steelers aren't playing the starters. And I guess I could be wrong. They could be gunning for that 2 seed, but I really don't know why when they kind of very obviously need some time off. So here we go. For Cleveland, we have the Cleveland clinches a playoff berth with a win, or Cleveland win, you're in. Or if Indy was to lose, they also get in. So it looks like they have a couple of situations. Or if this weird situation where Tennessee loses, Miami wins, Miami beats Buffalo, and Buffalo wins, or Baltimore wins. So if Tennessee loses, Miami wins, and Baltimore wins, Cleveland makes the playoffs, even if they were to lose. If Indy loses and they lose, Cleveland gets in with Baltimore, and then if Cleveland wins, they're in. So that would be interesting. I guess there is a scenario here where if everybody but Baltimore, I don't know. All right, let's move on to Indy. Indy can actually still win a division, by the way. The AFC South has not been clinched yet. It is between the Colts and the Titans. So Indy can actually clinch the AFC South with a win and a Tennessee loss if they tie and Tennessee loses. So more than likely, Tennessee has to play Houston and they play the Jaguars. It seems like both of these two teams are going to pull victories off this weekend. So the Colts might actually be like looking on the outside looking in, because when you look at if like they don't win the division, this is what they have to have happen to make the playoffs, much like the Titans. So it sounds like the AFC South, you need the division to get in the playoffs. Listen to this. Indy has to win, Baltimore has to lose, Cleveland has to lose, or Miami has to lose. So basically, Indy has to win, and one of those three teams has to lose. So Baltimore has to lose to the Bengals, Cleveland has to lose to the backup Steelers, and Miami has to lose to the Buffalo Bills, which would be their best bet if they don't win their division outright. Say, because if the Titans win, they win the division just outright. So if that happens, for the Titans beat the Texans, Indy kind of now has to hope to goodness that Miami loses, Cleveland loses, or Baltimore loses, or they're not in. They're like on the outside looking in if they don't win the division. So they need the most help. They need the most other things to happen. So they're praying hard there in Indy. So it sounds like the Dolphins are just kind of in. Miami gets in with a win. They play Buffalo. If they beat the Bills, which may be the backup Bills, they're in. That should say 12-3. This is an older article, by the way. They're 12-3 now. Miami can clinch with just a win. Baltimore was to lose to the Bengals, not likely. Cleveland was to lose to the backup Steelers, unless they choke. Or Indy was to lose to the Jaguars, very unlikely. But Miami kind of controls their own destiny. Win and you're in. Tennessee Titans, they win their division. Like I said, I think it's a situation much like the Colts, where if they don't get in the playoffs, like if they don't win the division, they're not in. Or like so this is how they can clinch their division title, with a win and Indy loss. So one of those two, they win the division. If they tie and Indy ties, but basically they have to win their division here. Tennessee can clinch the playoff berth with a Baltimore loss or a Miami loss. So there's, they have a little less stipulations than Indy, but Indy definitely has the most problems here in the AFC to get in the playoffs. They need a lot of work. They need a lot. So Indy might not make it. So it's kind of looking like it's going to be the Chiefs, what right now it's the Chiefs, the Bills, the Steelers, the Titans probably, and then 5, 6, 7 would probably be in no particular order. Dolphins. Ravens and Dolphins and Ravens. Dolphins, Ravens, and who else would it be? Cleveland. Yeah, that looks like the playoffs are going to be. It's going to be So Kansas City 1. Baltimore 2. This is just projected. 3 Steelers, 4 Titans. I don't know, 5 Dolphins, 6 or 5 Ravens, 6 Dolphins, and 7 Browns. That makes sense. And then and by the way, it looks, just based off who everybody's playing and everything, it looks like Indy's going to be the team that kind of gets the raw end of it. But all right, let's go to the NFC. It's a little less complicated. It's a little less. There's not as many good teams about to miss the playoffs. Indy could go 11-5, and if Indy wins and none of these teams lose and everybody else wins out, Indy just misses the playoffs at 11-5, which is crazy to think about. I've only seen that once with the Patriots. They went 11-5 the year Brady tore his ACL and actually missed the playoffs, which is quite crazy to think about. All right, clinched in the NFC. The NFC, obviously, you have 3 of the divisions won. They're still kind of waiting to see who wins the NFC East. That'll be the last game of the regular season, actually, on Sunday night. The Bucs have the 5th seed. I'm pretty sure Tampa's just going to be the 5 seed. So you've got, and then you've still got the 1 seed wide open between the Saints, Packers, and Seahawks. It's kind of just between the Packers and Seahawks, actually. But, the 1 seed is still clinchable for somebody. So we have a few things to go over. This is a little bit more straightforward. I can pretty much fit the 2 wild card teams that I think are going to get in due to the injury to the Rams. I think that's actually probably the end of their season. So basically, here's how the Arizona Cardinals can win a playoff berth if they win. They have to win. I mean, if they win, they're in. It has nothing to do with other teams. But here's also Chicago, because right now they would have 5 teams if whoever wins the East and one. So basically, Arizona and Chicago, if they both win, it appears that they both can get into the playoffs. 9-7, 9-7. It looks like that would get them both in, because that would mean that the Rams lost. So 9-7, 9-7. That would push the Rams to 9-7, which would eliminate them and make them the first, on the outside looking in. For the Dallas Cowboys, they can actually still clinch the NFC East, which is hilarious at a 6-9 record. They play the Giants, who can also still win the division if Washington loses. This becomes a division game. This becomes, if whoever wins this game could be depending on Washington to lose to the Eagles on Monday on Sunday night to see who gets the division. This is a huge game, actually. So if Dallas wins and Washington loses, they win the NFC East. So if Dallas wins this game, they win the NFC East. Same with the Giants. If the Giants win this game, we'll see them in a minute. If the Giants win this game and Washington loses, New York wins the division. So that's pretty crazy to me that the NFC East is still this wide open. It's hilarious. And some people think they'll win a playoff game against the Bucs. Yeah, I don't know about that. Those teams aren't good. As bad as you may think the Bucs maybe are overrated, you may find them. Come on. Jeez. All right. The Green Bay Packers. Let me see. Hold on. I didn't skip it. Yep. Green Bay Packers can clinch their first round bye with a win. Or Seattle loss. So all Green Bay has to do is beat a team they can beat quite well. I believe Rodgers is like 19-5 against the Bears. He's very, very good against this team. So it seems likely the Packers will clinch up the 1 seed, go 13-3. They can also get the 1 seed if Seattle was to lose their game against the 49ers, which is always quite a game out there. Let's see. Then we have the Rams also. If they win, they're in. Like, it does not matter for the rest of it. So basically, it's like, I think if the Rams win and Arizona wins, yeah, that's how. Or yeah, so if the Rams win, Chicago also makes the playoffs. Basically, Arizona has to win, and they're in. It kind of doesn't. Then it doesn't matter what Chicago does for Arizona, but Chicago, they can actually still qualify. Say the Rams somehow beat the Cardinals with the backup quarterback and stuff. Chicago makes the playoffs. So very, very. So that's an interesting thing. And or if they were to lose and Chicago was to lose, the Rams, I think, slip in and make the playoffs. So Rams have a little bit of a chance here to make the playoffs if Green Bay wins and they can. And if they lose to the Cardinals, it's not the end of the world for them. So Rams still have a shot, I guess. We could actually still see them in the playoffs. I guess it's more. I guess it's more like Chicago's kind of on the outside looking in for the NFC, basically because they have to play a mean Green Bay team this week. New Orleans can clinch the first round bye with the win, a Green Bay loss, and a Seattle win. So New Orleans has to have a lot happen for them to be the 1 seed. They got to win. Green Bay's got to lose, and Seattle's got to win, which is a weird set of things to have happen, but they can get the first round bye if those things happen. New Orleans obviously plays Carolina. Green Bay plays Chicago. Seattle plays the 49ers. It's division rivalry week. If you haven't caught on. Obviously, the Giants can clinch the NFC East, as we already discussed. If they win and Washington loses. Excuse me one moment. I need a bigger drink than that. But yeah, so we already kind of knew what the Dallas and the NFC East situation is. Now, Seattle can still clinch a first round bye. I think they need a little bit of more crazy shit to happen. They need to win. Green Bay needs to lose, and New Orleans needs to lose. So We need to see the Panthers getting upset, Packers get upset, and Seattle needs to win. So very unlikely Seattle takes away that 1 seed just based on all the circumstances. Why is this asterisk? That is weird. That's weird that that's asterisk for whatever reason, and I don't know why they have that asterisk. Anyway, let's see. Washington football team. Final thing to talk about. They win their division if they win. So, if they win, they're in. Washington with the old Alex Smith, old one leg. So basically with the NFC, it's kind of looking like it's going to go like Packers, Saints, Seahawks, the Washington football team probably, Tampa, Cardinals, and Rams. Yeah, that's probably the most likely just because the Bears got to play the Packers. So you'll see the Packers in there as the one. Then you'll probably see the Saints, probably see the Seahawks. Then you'll probably see, obviously, the Washington football team or whoever wins the East. I'm guessing Washington. And then you got Tampa. And then you've got Arizona, who would make it because I think they'll beat the Rams with the backup quarterback situation. And I think because of that, if Arizona wins, because the Rams can clinch with a Chicago loss, so it would mean the Rams take the 7 seed. So that's how I think that's going to play out. So basically, we've already just go back and listen to what I've already said. It's not, you don't only got to go back like 7 minutes to find what I've said about each of the teams making it. So those are the teams I think that'll make it. I think the Colts and I think the Bears are going to be left on the outside looking in. So now that actually kind of narrows it down. But yeah, so that's what I think is going to happen for the playoff scenarios this week. Let me know what you think down below. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. If you enjoyed the video, we make more content. Blah blah blah. Fun off season coming ahead, so we'll be fun. We'll be busy, having fun, all that fun shit, and la di da. Yeah, like, subscribe. All that fun stuff. Also, be sure to leave your thoughts down below, how you think it's going to play out. I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as possible. So that's Week 17 playoff scenarios. That's how everything shapes out. Let me know what you think. Let me know, if I missed something or, I don't think I did. So, peace. Go Patriots. Go Lions. Better luck next year to my teams. So, good luck to your teams if they're still alive. You'll probably need them. This is not going to be an easy playoffs anywhere. Goodbye.